Hey people, how are you today? Okay, it's another day to learn from me. 7 lessons in 7 years of being married to my darling husband, Olanrewaju. There is a saying that change is the only constant thing in life, and I can tell you it's very true, but not a change that is forced. Change can never be forced. So, one thing I've learned in my marriage in 7 years is the fact that you cannot force a person to change if they are not ready to change. You can only influence a change to happen in a person, especially your spouse, because there is a connection between the two of you. Now, I'll explain what I'm talking about. Now, let me set as an example. When we got married, I'm this person that I can eat solo and you won't even know that someone has, had already touched that particular food. So I eat neatly. I understand the place of you eating, step by step, like you are organized while you're eating, you're organized when you're eating, you're neat with it. If I can put it like that. So even if I've eaten and I dropped it, nobody will know that that food has been taught. That's the way I eat. If I'm eating solo in a plate, you won't know that this other side that there is nothing there again has been touched. Very neat. But here is my husband that when he's eating, when someone is eating, you can see their 5 fingers dragging from top to bottom. That is my own husband. And I remember, and one of the things we told ourselves is, as much as possible, we're going to be eating together. And to the glory of God, in these 7 years of marriage, we're never eaten separately. I mean, when we are together, we've never, morning, afternoon, night, whenever, as now, we've never eaten separately. Once we are together, it's only when we're not together that we eat separately. Was when we're together, once we're together, we don't eat separately. So this is something I know I'll be battling with every day, and I don't know, sort of, it gives me this. I don't know what I'm thinking on my head. Like I don't like it. And I remember the first time that will happen, I just sat still on the table and instead of eating, I was looking at him. I was looking at him. He would take the swallow, yeah, until he puts it in his mouth. And when I could not hold it again, I just said, why are you eating like that? Can't you see? You're supposed to be neat. You're supposed to be. And he looked at me and was like, neat how? And I will still say this. See, knowledge is important to everything in life. And that's why I've been shouting, or probably I've been telling you, please get my books, get my courses, attend our premarital training, come for marriage enrichment programs. If you have any issue, you don't have any issue, come for these things. And the beautiful thing is, we have ongoing sales now. I will drop the link in the comment section for you to be able to go. You check my pin post, you will see the details. Go to seller and get as many books as possible. Why am I saying this? We have read books. Daddy and Mommy BC and Yomi Adewale, they've helped us. And so things that ordinarily people fight about, we did not fight about even in the early years of our marriage. Do you understand? So I kept talking about it. Sincerely, there was no change. And so I told myself, BC, you have to live with this. Like, I just have to. It's not like he's not drawing while eating. The beautiful thing, you won't see my husband eat and you will see things in his mouth. No, that's not happening. It's just the fact that I don't like, why will you eat and I will be able to count your finger? On this swallow, we're eating together, guy. But then I kept quiet and that was it. And another thing about me too, it's still about food. So I grew up in a home where even if I'm not eating, I can eat meat without problem. You understand? But now getting married to see that your own husband will wait until he has finished eating before taking me. But here I am. Once I'm eating, even before, if I want to eat meat first, I eat meat first and I continue eating. If I want to eat in between, I do that because I grew up like that. I can, the way I grew up, if I feel I wanted meat, I could go into the pot or into the freezer or whatever, take, freezed meat and you allow it to defrost and then you eat. But here, no. My husband grew up in a place where if you're not done eating your food, you cannot take meat. And so that's time I was like, you will look at me. Why should man mirror light jẹun tán? As in, how can you take meat when you have not finished it? I'll be like, she wants one canny. Like, is there a time for one to take meat and eat? And so that one too, but we're able to sincerely eat. And after a while, I was like, I just told you. I remember that I told her, what do you mean? She on, like And the funny thing again is, he will till now. No, okay, no, I think he has stopped now. I've rubbed off on. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you can't be your spouse, and your spouse cannot be you. The second lesson. But then we can rub off on ourselves good things. So, it's good thing now. BC can eat meat anytime, but the husband cannot. But then I'm telling you, today, he does it too. He can take the meat at any time and eat. Do you understand? Is it not our meat? Are we serving? We're not serving any other person. It's for us. Do you understand? So why am I saying that? Change is the only constant thing. But in marriage, you don't force a person to change. I am an adult. He is an adult. Your spouse is an adult. They need to make that decision that they want to change. And how do you influence the change to happen in a person? You influence a change to happen in a person by being the change. How do you be the change? Okay, let me cite an example. Something that I know has been common in counseling. Like, some persons will say, my husband is very rough. My husband, especially men, know my husband is rough. He doesn't do these things, and I've complained, I've talked. And you know one thing? When a woman keeps complaining, they will tell you you're nagging. And if care is not taking, you nag your love out of your spouse's heart. Now, what do you do? Instead of complaining, talking, be that thing, the change you're looking for in your spouse. Be the change. And when you're the change, before you know what is happening, you will influence it. Maybe it's you drop things recklessly anywhere, and you've been talking, it's not supposed to be here, and there is no change. What are you supposed to do? Whenever that happens, pick that particular thing, put it in its right place. When you do that consistently for a while without even talking, and when doing it, you're happy, you laugh, you would notice that after some time, your spouse will start doing the normal thing. Why? Because now action speaks louder than your voice. Your voice has not been able to do the work because your spouse has seen you, your husband has seen you as someone that nags. And if care is not taking, you will nag your love out of their heart. So what do? Be the change. Simple. When you are the change, you influence them to start doing the right things. I've told people about this in my. I even say a woman came to my. I went to minister in a place, and this woman said, "Oh ma, you told us something you do and it helped," and that's what I said. What? And she explained. He said, ma. She said, what I do now is that I'm influencing change in a lot of. I said, how do you do? He said, when I know I've been talking and even we have been fighting, ma, that was why at the point she said she wanted to see me, but immediately I said that thing, she started using it. It was free. Oh. She didn't pay for this counseling. It was, I went to minister, and then the Holy Spirit used that for him. And he said, ever since, that just noticed that one of the things that usually cause this serious fight between them, now the husband is doing it. That even not just doing his own, now he will do it with his own, I mean with our own, at times the children's own and all those things that she's been the one doing before. Why? She influenced the change to happen in the spouse. Now, let me say this. If you're trying to influence a change to happen and your spouse is not changing, do not fight it. Do not fight it. You will never fight him to change. What you do instead? Hmm. Prayer. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes people. Prayer changes situation. Prayer changes circumstances. Prayer changes the worst of us. Prayer changes the best of us. Prayer changes everything. Prayer turns things around. What am I saying? Go on your knees. Go to your father in prayer. Kneel down on your knee. Go on your knee and pray to God. Tell God about it. Tell God what this particular thing is doing to your marriage. I'm telling you. He will speak to your spouse if he or she is a child of God. And another thing is the fact that have you communicated about it? Have you talked? Or you're just nagging? How do you talk? You don't talk when that particular thing is happening. You talk when it's not happening so that they will listen to you, so that they will know that what you're saying is not, it's not for selfish interest. They will understand how they stand to gain or what they stand to gain from this particular thing. Human beings are naturally selfish. Once we know that there is something in this thing for us, it's so easy for us to change, or it's so easy for us to accept what people are telling us to accept. So please use all these things I've talked about, and I'm telling you, you will be glad. Again, that's the third lesson for me. And remember, it's in no particular order. I'm just like picking them the way they are coming to me. So please share this video, watch on YouTube, watch everywhere, buy our courses, invite us to speak. Whenever you have any conference, seminar, program, anywhere, and then register for a premarital training program. God bless you. No one thing. Remember, the blissful marriage you want also wants you. Just work for it. God bless you, and I love you.